The protagonist of each entry into the Elder Scrolls is an individual of immense power and achieves incredible, impossible feats. Today, we will go full anime power scaling and rank the main characters of each game in order from weakest to the strongest. Exceptions to this are Elder Scrolls Legends, as the lore is insubstantial to make any real estimates, and the Elder Scrolls Blades, because that game does not exist.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
You can play on your tablet too.
While it was quite easy to separate the heroes into two categories, just some guy and an actual god, however, ranking within these categories can be quite subjective. The criteria for the ranking will be based on personal power, unique talents, as well as wins over other notable characters. We will not take gear into account and assume nobody is benefiting from any OP equipment or broken game mechanics. Before we get into it, please stop asking me to make a real-life race tier list. There is obviously one race that is far superior to all the others, and we all know that it is clearly the 100-meter sprint. Do you actually expect me to tune into the Olympics to watch a 3-hour-long marathon? I would literally rather play Elder Scrolls Arena than do that. Also, if you enjoy the video, consider liking and subscribing, as it really helps. Our main competition at the moment are channels with Dwemer Automaton generated content, and your support really encourages me to continue directing my energy and passion towards something I enjoy immensely. That being said, let's get on with the ranking. The agent was a member of the Blades, the Emperor's personal bodyguard, and was sent to Daggerfall on a mission to put the spirit of King Lysandus to rest. The hero of the second entry into the Elder Scrolls series would find themselves in the middle of a Breton political intrigue, which eventually resulted in the activation of the brass golem Numidium and a phenomenon known as the Warp in the West. This event would rewrite history, merging multiple timelines together, making each of them both real and false simultaneously. The agent themselves, being a member of the Emperor's elite bodyguard, was at the very least a skilled warrior. However, they lack any notable unique abilities or W's over other powerful characters. They even lacked the power to activate the Numidium themselves, instead giving it away to one of the interested parties. This firmly places the agent at the bottom of the list, but that's okay, as the game came out before most of you were even born. Next on our list is the Eternal Champion from the Arena, the very first Elder Scrolls game. The champion was unwillingly thrust into the center of a deadly power struggle when the battle mage Jagar Tharn kidnapped and usurped the Emperor Uriel. The decade that followed was known as the Imperial Simulacrum, as Tharn impersonated the Emperor and ruled Tamriel in his stead. During the opening days of the Simulacrum, Tharn set about cleansing his court of Uriel loyalists, and the hero was imprisoned in the Imperial dungeons and left to die. Managing to escape with the help of Jagar's apprentice, the champion reassembled the Staff of Chaos and defeated Tharn, freeing the Emperor from his Daedric prison. The champion, much like the previously mentioned agent, while being a talented and skilled individual, is, at the end of the day, just some guy. No demigod or chosen one, just a mortal catching strays in the loyalist purges and forced to rise above their circumstances. What edges the protagonist of the Arena over the agent from Daggerfall is that the Eternal Champion successfully 1v1'd Jagar Tharn, who was one of the most powerful mages of his time. This brings us to Cyrus, the only protagonist in the series with a set name and appearance. Having spent years as a mercenary and assassin, on his quest to rescue his sister, He became involved with a group of pirates known as the Restless League, who rebelled against the invading Emperor Tiber Septon. Cyrus's claim to fame was his leadership of this successful Red Guard uprising in Stras Mackay against the Empire. Cyrus, living a life of danger and adventure, was a more than capable warrior. Moreover, he is speculated to have been not just any common Red Guard, but an aspect of Hunding, the old Yakutan god of perseverance. This would explain how Cyrus was able to solo a Dwemer Centurion, and even more impressively, the dragon Nephalalargus. Not only that, but after the events of the game, Cyrus traveled to the remains of Yakuta, where he went toe-to-toe with Vivek himself, a living god. He did take a bit of an L in their first duel, and won their second encounter only by gaslighting Vivek, but nonetheless, taking on an actual god in a 1v1 is a feat worthy of landing Cyrus in 6th place. The Apprentice is number 5 on our list, and is the protagonist of Battlespire, a game most of you would have heard about for the first time at this exact moment. The events take place in an interdimensional floating citadel known as the Battlespire, an academy for the strongest battle mages in Cyrodiil. During the events of the previously mentioned simulacrum, the usurper Jagar Tharn allied with the Daedric Prince of Destruction, Mehrunes Dagon. As per the terms of their deal, Tharn gave the Battlespire to Dagon upon his ascension to the throne. The events of the game follow an apprentice that was accepted into the academy right as the Daedric invasion occurred. With no way out of the Battlespire, the apprentice was forced to rip and tear their way through the hordes of Daedra until finally coming face to face with Mehrunes Dagon himself. Albeit with the help of other allied Daedra, the apprentice was able to defeat the Daedric Prince of Destruction and send him screaming back to the void, making them the first protagonist on our list to defeat a godlike being. Also, quite possibly the strongest protagonist as a baseline, the apprentice was no prisoner, but a powerful sorcerer, enough to land them an opportunity in the Battlespire and the number 5 spot on our list. Just falling short of the top 3, but being first on the list in terms of games people actually played, is the Hero of Kvatch from Oblivion. A prisoner in the right cell at the right time would rise up against all odds and be instrumental in stopping yet another of Mehrunes Dagon's invasions of Tamriel.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Thwarting the Daedric plans of dominating the mortal plane. Granted the title Champion of Cyrodiil, the hero would later take on the mantle of the Divine Crusader, following in the steps of the legendary Pelinal Whitestrake, the number 1 ranked competitive racist in all of Tamriel, and defeat the returning Aelite king Umaril the Unfeathered. Their final adventure took them through a strange door into the Shivering Isles, the realm of the Daedric prince Sheogorath, where the hero would act as the Mad God's champion. The hero was successful in preventing the Grey March, the prophesied destruction of the Mad God's realm, and defeated the Daedric Prince of Order Jigalag, the transformed version of Sheogorath. The Hero of Kvatch was no doubt one of the most powerful mortals to ever walk Tamriel. The hero soloed the leaders of both the Mythic Dawn, Mankar Cameron, and the Cult of Worms, Manmarco, some of the most powerful mages of the time and possibly ever. The champion destroyed Umaril permanently, something even Pelamal himself couldn't achieve, and finally defeated Jigalag, who is not only a god, but was once considered the strongest Daedric prince. There are several reasons as to why the Hero of Kvatch is relatively low on the list. While incredibly powerful, they were still a mere mortal, and not even the protagonist of the Oblivion Crisis, that role being Martin Septimus. The Umaril win was certainly impressive, However, the hero was only able to defeat Jigolag after receiving Sheogorath's power and mantling the Mad God. If taking the final form of the hero of Kvatch as the new incarnation of Sheogorath, they would undoubtedly be number 1 on this list. However, it can be argued that the hero stops being themselves once the Mad God personality takes over. The Nerevarine, the reincarnation of Indoril Nerevar, the hero of prophecy and killer of gods. Centuries before the events of Morrowind, the Chimer leader Nerevar was betrayed and team-killed beneath the Red Mountain by the Tribunal, his closest advisors, who became gods through stolen power. The Daedric prince Azura, enraged at this betrayal, prophesied that Nerevar would return and punish them for their treachery and save the Dunmer people. Many claimed the title of Nerevarine over the years, but none succeeded in fulfilling Azura's promise. Not until one day, a mysterious prisoner arrived by ship to Morrowind and set the events of the prophecy in motion. The hero would go on to unite the great houses of Morrowind and the Ash clans both, and defeat Dagoth-Ur, another ghost of Nerevar's past that rose from the dead and terrorized Morrowind. In the battle with Dagoth, the Nerevarine destroyed the Heart of Lorkhan, the artifact that gave both Dagoth and the Tribunal their godlike powers. Almalexia of the Tribunal would go insane with the loss of her divine energy, and was subsequently also put down by the Nerevarine. The final feat of the hero would be to unwillingly participate in the Great Hunt, essentially a battle royale organized by the Daedric Prince of the Hunt, Hersi. The Nerevarine would clutch the victory royale against the Daedra, adding yet another god to their killstreak. The hero of Morrowind was an individual of incredible power. Aside from immense skill and talent, the Nerevarine would also be affected by the Corpus disease, but was cured of its negative effects, leaving them immune to all other diseases and potentially immortal. However, many of their feats may seem less impressive upon closer inspection. Dagoth-Ur was defeated not directly, but by severing his connection to the Heart of Lorkhan. Almalexia was weak and insane, and Hercene appeared as an aspect and not at his full power. While no doubt impressive, the Nerevarine pales in comparison to the top 2 on our list. The last Dragonborn, or the Dovahkiin in the language of the dragons, much like the Nerevarine, was a hero prophesied centuries before their appearance. Alduin's Wall, an ancient Akaviri mural, foretold the Dragonborn's coming. As the dragons woke from their ancient slumber under the command of Alduin, a hero would rise to stop the world-eating child of Akatosh and save Mundus from utter annihilation. The Dovahkiin was no ordinary mortal. As the name Dragonborn would imply, the hero had dragonic blood in their veins, which came from a blessing from Akatosh, and not some distant ancestor rising up a genocidal flying lizard. In practice, this meant that the Dovahkiin could devour the souls of dragons, not only permanently killing them, but absorbing the centuries of knowledge that they accrued. This knowledge could also be directly channeled into the voice, or Thu'um, the language of the dragons, which acts as incredibly powerful magic. The Dragonborn is the only protagonist with this power, and could not only breathe fire and ice, but also become invincible for a while, and even manipulate time itself, an incredibly OP ability. Gaining immense power from their natural skills and talents, as well as aided by their ability with the Thu'um, the Dovahkiin first soloed Alduin at the throat of the world, and then followed him to Sovngarde, the afterlife realm of the Nords, to spawn-kill him there again, for good this time, albeit with the help of ancient Nord heroes. Each dragon is a child of Akatosh, and Alduin was first among them, making him just one step below an actual Aedra in power. Indeed, it was Alduin's very destiny to unmake the world, and the Dragonborn not only beat the Black Dragon, but fate itself. The exploits of the Dovahkiin do not end there. After solving the dragon crisis, the hero defeated a clan of ancient and powerful vampires to prevent the destruction of the sun, a cartoon villain tier plan by Lord Harkon. Despite the failure to secure a Goth GF, the Dovahkiin would continue on their journey, and eventually would take on their biggest challenge yet, Miraak, the first Dragonborn. Miraak was an ancient dragon priest of incredible power. It is said that in battle with another of his order, the very earth shattered and Solstheim separated from mainland Skyrim due to the incredible energies unleashed. The first Dragonborn and the last would clash in a climactic battle, with our hero prevailing and would swallow Miraak's very essence, along with the centuries of knowledge and power that he had accrued, realistically projecting the Dovahkiin to a near-god status without the mantling of a Daedric god.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed champion of the world!
No doubt this will be controversial, but the Vestige comes out on top as the strongest Elder Scrolls protagonist. Known by many names, the soulless hero of the Elder Scrolls Online was among the many victims sacrificed by the necromancer Mannimarco to bring about the invasion of Tamriel by Molag Bal, the Daedric prince of domination and not asking for consent. Unfortunately for the necromancer and his Daedric master, they inadvertently created the very cause of their own downfall, as the Vestige escaped Bal's realm of Cold Harbor and set about thwarting the Daedric incursion, eventually defeating both Mannimarco and Molag Bal. The Vestige would accomplish far more than any other protagonist, for the obvious reason that the Elder Scrolls Online is a live service MMORPG, which, nevertheless, does not make anything less canon. Among the hero's many achievements are defeating multiple Daedric princes, dragons, vampires, and even the manifestation of the warrior and mage star constellations. While it would be unfair to say the Vestige soloed every antagonist, as more often than not it was a group project, the sheer amount of god-tier beings defeated places the hero of Online above the other main characters. A huge advantage the Vestige has over the other protagonists is, of course, their immortality. Not a vague concept like that of the Nerevarine, but a canonical ability to simply respawn, due to their soul being separate from their body. This allows the Vestige to reform like an immortal Daedra would, with all their memories and skills intact. While I do believe that in a straight-up 1v1, the last Dragonborn could take the Vestige, there are certain caveats. The Dovahkiin's Thu'um isn't the insta-win button some might believe it to be. While certainly a huge advantage, the ancient Nord tongues were defeated by the Chimera so badly that the art of the voice itself faded from Nord culture. Besides, the Vestige would simply respawn and come back time and time again, eventually being able to essentially cockroach their way into beating the Dovahkiin over multiple confrontations, needing only to win once to secure their undisputed #1 spot. There it is, my friends, the protagonist power ranking. Let me know down in the comments whether you agree or disagree, and where you would rank them yourself. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, as more high-effort trash content is always on the way. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again.